And now let me get to some specific criticisms of me. Yesterday, we discussed Phil from Duck Dynasty's anti-gay comments and the YouTube segment I put up. With not even a full day later, it had well over 16,000 views, and that was just by 2 o'clock this afternoon. It's much higher than that now. And I think a right-wing website or somebody got a hold of it because, the like to dislike ratio was out of this world. I've never had a video that much disliked ever. At 2 o'clock this afternoon, it was 183 likes, 709 dislikes, and that's climbing in the direction that's bad for me, okay? So people didn't like what I had to say. So let me address, because I took note of all the criticisms. I read a lot of the comments. On Facebook, I was getting a trillion messages. On Twitter, I was getting messages. So let me address the criticism. First of all, my favorite thing that I'm just going to dismiss right off the bat here, and to be honest, the biggest criticism I got from the most people basically said, "How dare you? You offend me." Too bad. This is an old trick that when people can't win the debate on the substance, they'll just pivot to this. "You offend me! I'm playing the O card. You offend me. Now you have to shut up." Yeah, but you made a little mistake. You made a little miscalculation there, buddy. I'm not like the other wimpy liberals who, second you make a peep, I go into the corner and I shy away and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, did I hurt your feelings?" I don't give a fuck if I hurt your feelings. It's called, you're a human being, you're an adult. Get used to it. You're going to have your feelings hurt a lot. Sometimes the truth hurts a lot. So I don't care if I offended you. That's point number one, okay? And then I also think it's hilarious that they think they can judge all gay people and call them inferior, and then when I judge them back for judging gay people, all of a sudden judging is wrong. Now nobody's allowed to judge. Yeah, but wait a second. You were just judging. And now if I start judging, my judging's not acceptable, but yours is? So you want to be able to say whatever you want without getting any criticism whatsoever. Well, that's not the game. That's not the game I play. And that's not the way reality functions. And it's also hilarious that they got angry for, I casually, nonchalantly referred to him as a hillbilly and a redneck. Yeah, man, I'm totally wrong about that, huh? What did you want me to refer to him as? A hairy man? The composer of the Philharmonic? A backup singer for the Wu-Tang Clan? That's what he is, sorry, I know, again. Oh, you're offended, too bad, I don't care. And let's be honest. If it wasn't from the source, if it wasn't coming from me who said, oh, he's a hillbilly or a redneck, it wouldn't be an issue. People would just say, oh yeah, of course, that's what he is. So it's a matter of, oh, you liberal meanie said it, so now I'm going to pretend like, you're out of bounds and you're outlandish for saying that, when everybody knows that's what's going on here. And some people sent me messages saying, how dare you call him a redneck or a hillbilly? I'm proud to be a redneck. To which I respond, okay, then why are you mad at me? If you like being called a redneck or a hillbilly, then when I say it, shouldn't you be thanking me and not yelling at me? Seems to be a little bit of an inconsistency there. And the other criticism I got was, well, you're persecuting him and Christianity. To which I respond, disagreeing with you is not the same as persecuting you, okay? And I'm allowed to disagree with you, which I do. You know what persecution is? Persecution is 29 states that you're allowed to fire gay people simply because they're gay. And that's what's happening in the US right now. 29 states you could do that. Persecution is only 16 out of 50 states allow gay people to get married. The overwhelming majority don't allow them to get married. So gays are persecuted. You, all you Christians out there who are angry at me, you're not persecuted. You're 76% of the population, okay? You get your way every single time. If only once you guys could just maybe get a Christian president, then you would feel better and you wouldn't feel like you're persecuted as much. Oh, wait, right. You've had every single one so far. So spare me on that. But to the bigger question now, let's talk about who's right here. So Phil said that a man should want to fuck a woman, and a vagina is just preferable to an anus, and it's just sin in the Bible to be gay. That's what he said, right? Well, okay, let's look into this a little deeper. He's getting that, and he's claiming, look, it's from Jesus Christ, it's from the Bible, this is what I believe, this is, what goes on in my head here. All right, so let's see what else we got in the Bible here. Well, in Leviticus 19:31, it bans psychics. People like Miss Cleo and John Edward, or astrology. So if you've ever read a site about astrology, kill yourself. That's not me saying that, that's the Bible. How about Exodus 21:17? It bans ever talking back to your parents. Punishable by death. Have you ever spoken back to your mom or dad? Kill yourself. How about Mark 10, lines 11 to 12? It bans getting remarried. Everybody in the U.S., all the Christians who have gotten remarried, your punishment is death. I take it you'll willingly come forward and offer to be executed because you believe so deeply in this Bible. This is your holy book. It's the literal word of God. Exodus 31 bans working on Sundays. Everybody in the NFL needs to be executed tomorrow. I'm sure all you Christians will support that because this is the literal word of God. So who are you to disagree with it? You're a lowly human being. This is the Bible. This is divine. How about 1 Corinthians, which bans women speaking in church? So I guess you all the time, all you Christians are at church with your wife, you tell her, shut the fuck up, bitch. That's what you say to them, right? Because that's what the Bible tells you to say to them because they're not allowed to speak in church. Punishable by death. How about Leviticus 11, lines 7 to 8? It bans pork. Have you ever had pork in your life? You ever been hungry, had some pork? Maybe a little duck sauce on there? Oh, sorry, you need to kill yourself. How about Leviticus 19:28? It bans tattoos and body piercings. Leviticus 19:27 bans haircuts. For some reason, I don't think the people on Duck Dynasty have to worry about that one. But all the other Christians who criticize me for speaking out against the Bible and Christianity, have you ever gotten your hair cut? Well, if you've gotten your hair cut, you're an abomination in the eyes of your very God. What is wrong with you? Disagreeing with your holy book? Are you insane? Are you spitting in the eye of your Creator? How dare you be so arrogant to disagree with your beloved Creator? You must be out of your mind. And how about Leviticus 10:11? Here's my favorite. It bans eating shrimp, lobster, and other assorted seafood. Have you ever had seafood, son? You ever been to Red Lobster? You ever been in the fish market on a Friday to grab some food for dinner for you and your family? You ever did that? Okay, so I take it you're going to volunteer to kill yourself now, right? See, here's the thing that pisses me off, man. If you're going to say, I believe in the Bible, I believe in Jesus, at least be fucking consistent. Don't pick out little nitpick things here or there. I already hate gays, so let me take this little passage that says I should hate gays in Leviticus and then talk about that ad nauseum. Well, how about you don't fucking talk about that ad nauseum unless and until you want to talk about protesting outside of the seafood market, if you want to talk about never getting a haircut and protesting to close down all hair salons and barbers, unless you want to talk about banning tattoos and banning body piercings, unless you want to tell your wife to never fucking talk in church, but you don't do any of that. You don't talk about any of the other things in the Bible because it's not convenient, okay? So spare me your pathetic belief system. I don't respect it. I don't respect it. Can I be more clear? Oh, I'm sorry, am I supposed to respect it? Tell me, make a list of the things I'm supposed to respect and the things that I don't have to respect, and then I'll live my life exactly by what your pathetic dictates tell me to do. How about that? But I'm not even done yet. I'm not even close to done yet. Okay. How about outright contradictions in the Bible? God is seen and heard in Exodus 33:23. That's funny because in John 1:18, God is invisible and cannot be heard. That appears to be an outright contradiction. So which is it? Or did the Almighty make a mistake? But I thought he was infallible. So how does he make a mistake? All right, what else we got here? God is everywhere present and sees and knows all things. That's Proverbs 15:3. God is not everywhere present, neither sees nor knows all things. That's Genesis 11:5. Another blatant contradiction. How about God is just and impartial? Psalms 92:15. Well, that's weird because in Genesis 9:25 it says God is unjust and partial. So what happened? Another outright contradictions. You do realize that's logically impossible, right? That it can't be both those things at once. Now, while we're at it, I'll just throw this in there for good measure too, because I'm sure the guys from Duck Dynasty, they're on this page as well. If you're a fundamentalist and you've mentioned Jesus being against homosexuality, as Phil did, okay? Jesus said nothing about homosexuality. Nothing. It's only mentioned in Leviticus, which, by the way, is where a lot of these other laws came from, which I just spoke about. But you don't talk about those other ones. You just talk about gay people, don't you? You're a hypocrite. And how about if, again, you Christians, a lot of you use the Bible to justify being anti-abortion. Well, here's what the Bible has to say on that topic. Numbers chapter 5, verses 20 to 27, quote, "But if you have gone astray while married to your husband, and you have made yourself impure by having sexual relations with a man other than your husband, may the Lord make your womb miscarry and your abdomen swell." So God performed abortions and spoke about it like, of course, that's what you do. If you have sex with somebody that's not your husband and you get pregnant, you have an abortion. In Numbers, in the Bible. It's weird how you leave that out when you pretend like the Bible is 100% in favor of abortion. I mean, against abortion. No, but see, this is what I mean, man. You have to understand something, guys. You're like children, okay? And I mean that. And if you're a fundamentalist Christian, like I got messages on Facebook from 1 million people today talking about, oh, you offended me and this is my beliefs and yada yada. Look, you're allowed to believe it. I literally cannot get in your head to make you not believe it. That's not how the world functions. You can believe whatever you want to believe. I'm not a police statist. I'm not an authoritarian. By all means, I would never ban your religious practices, okay? But you're wrong. And I have the right to disagree with you, and I have the right to talk about it. And here's the important part. There's just as much evidence for Yahweh or Jesus and the Bible as there is for the Quran and Muhammad, as there is for Hinduism or Buddhism, as there is for the Bhagavad Gita, as there is for Mormonism or Scientology, as there is for the Greek gods and the Roman gods. Every single person who was religious that was born into those other societies and they actually believed it, they thought, I have the one true religion out of the thousands of religions. And guess what? Every one of them was wrong. The person in ancient Greece was wrong. The person in ancient Rome was wrong. The person in India is wrong. The person in Pakistan is wrong. The person in Missouri and Alabama and Phil from Duck Dynasty, he's wrong. So to use that idea, a book from thousands of years ago, to justify treating gay people as literal second-class citizens, you literally can't have the same rights as straight people, well, I'm sorry, I don't respect your belief. And not all opinions are created equal, and you are simply standing in the way of progress, you're standing in the way of fundamental equality, you're standing in the way of justice, you're standing in the way of what's right, you're standing in the way of what's rational, and guess what? It's time to get the fuck out of the way.